is Jennifer Piper. I live in Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada, and I'm your hostess tonight for the February event. So, who all felt like January was the longest January of all the Januaries in the history of time? You guys, for a lot of us where we lived, it was cold, it was dark, it was dreary. People were getting snow where they don't normally get snow. There was storms, it was dark. And I don't know about you, but when I enter the month of February, I look at it as a month of self-love, of self-care, right? Sometimes a reset. I really look at it as, loving myself and loving the skin I'm in, especially coming out of the longest month ever that wreaked havoc on our skin, on our energy, on our bodies. And so tonight's event is really about self-care and how it's not always, optional. It really should be, and it's not indulgent. It should be necessary. And the vibe that you're going to feel is kind of like a QVC type of event where you're going to hear from different speakers who are in here sharing their stories, their results, with a different lens, every single one of them. And we're really talking about a few different solutions here. So, I once heard a term. It's called inflammaging, you guys. So inflammaging, and it hit me. And, it made me realize that a lot of times we do all this work on the outside and we take care of our skin and we use good skincare and we are, under chronic stress, chronic, look at our world today. There's stress and all these things that, we're exposed to that really have that chronic low level inflammation that drives aging, right? It impacts your joints, it impacts your energy, it impacts your skin, right? It shows up on the outside as like dullness, fine lines, loss of firmness and elasticity. And if you're not addressing the inflammation at the root and you're only kind of putting, a band-aid on the outside, you're not going to have the same results. So tonight we're going to switch it up a little bit and we're going to talk about how you can actually work on the inflammaging both on the inside and then take care of your skin on the outside. So we're going to be talking, you're going to hear from 4 different speakers. So first you're going to hear from my friend Michelle, who has had incredible results, you guys. I want you to make sure that you stay on in the end and you're going to see some really great before and afters too. But Michelle's been using a product called Vivix, and Vivix really works, to help combat oxidative stress and the free radical damage that we're always exposed to. And it supports your skin and your health at a cellular level. Okay. I'm going to let her talk a little bit more, but this product is incredible. Some of the stats are mind blowing, and there's 27 patents on this one product, you guys. So you're going to want to make sure that you listen in. Then we're going to switch gears and you're going to hear from Nancy, who's going to talk about a product that is near and dear to my heart because I've been using it for 8.5 years. And it is called Liquid BioCell. Liquid BioCell is a matrix. So it's got type 2 collagen, hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, and basically a matrix that is in a liquid. So it's like a shot that you take. And not only does it work for hair, skin, nails, it also really works with your joints. So I live in Canada, and we actually have Health Canada claims right on our bottle that it actually claims it aids in reducing pain associated with osteoarthritis of the hip and the knee. So if that is you and you're listening, you're going to want to listen into that with that product when Nancy talks about it. But I want you to think that beyond the joints, it's also doing a lot for your hair, skin, and nails, your gums, it's wonderful. My most favorite product. And again, I can't think of many products that I've had clients use for 8.5 years straight every single month. Then once we address the inflammation inside our body, we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the outside and, really loving our skin. So my friend Cheryl, who's owned a spa for most of her adult life, is going to come in and she's going to introduce you to our youth skincare line. This line is incredible. It's all EWG certified, the highest clean that you can get, formulated without 2,500 different chemicals. And you guys, most importantly, is it works. Every time I go to my esthetician, so I've been using this skincare for 8.5 months now, and I go to my esthetician, she's like, what are you doing to your skin? You guys, I'm 54. And when she says that, I'm always like, oh gosh, am I doing something wrong? And she's like, no, your skin is firm and juicy. Gotta love that word when you're talking about your skin, juicy, instead of like dry and wrinkled, right? So, she said your epidermis is nice and thick. That skincare is really working. You guys, when you hear it from someone in the esthetician field, it makes a huge difference. And I was like, oh, thank you, pat, 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 pat. So you're gonna hear about that line from my friend Cheryl. And then my friend Jocelyn is gonna come in and close it out with these, I call them viral because anytime I talk about them on social media, it goes crazy. But the viral peptide ageless wands. So it's a simple tool. You literally roll a peptide onto your skin. It's been featured on the Today Show, works incredible. I really noticed a reduction in dark circles and it helped lift that eye up again, which I'm all about. So Jocelyn is going to talk about that. You're going to then see some really great before and afters. Make sure that you're on because you're going to want to see Michelle with the difference in the inflammation in her face using that product called Vivix. You're going to see Cheryl's before and after with her skin. So you want to stay on for that. And then I'm going to come back in as soon as the ladies are done and I'm going to share a couple great offers that we have that run for this month only and some more exciting ways that you can take this home. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to my good friend, Michelle. Michelle, take it away. Thank you.
Thanks, Jen, and hello, everybody. I'm Michelle Rogers, and I am a total science nerd. So I have an education degree, and I also have a physiology and developmental biology degree. And I'm only telling you because maybe you'll let me off the hook a little bit by how nerdy I am about science. But basically today I get to talk to you about Vivix, and the reason I get to talk to you is because I'm extremely passionate about the clinical research behind this product and what it does in the human body. On top of that, what it did for me. And so I'm just going to get right into it and share with you a little bit about what it is. So this is a really potent blend of multiple different polyphenols. And, there are things like muscadine grape skin, black carrot, pomegranate extract, transverse resveratrol. And if you actually look at a chart, you'll see that Vivix is up to 100 times more potent than something like green tea, which is a known antioxidant. So the blend is really powerful and really an important part of why it works so well in the human body. Now, Vivix is proven to do a lot of cool stuff in the body. One of them is a 66% reduction in DNA damage. Our cells are getting attacked 500 trillion times every minute. It's crazy by things we eat and put on our skin, by breathing and being alive. If we exercise, we breathe more, so that's more oxidative stress. And Vivix is actually shown to neutralize free radicals and reduce DNA damage by 66%. The other thing that it does is every time we have a cell that goes into replication, so every 90 days we have brand new blood, we get brand new skin all the time. I don't know if you guys know that, but every time a cell makes a copy of itself, the telomeres on the DNA just get a little bit shorter and a little bit shorter. And eventually they get to a length that causes apoptosis, which is cell death. And then that cell dies and can never replicate itself again, which leads to aging, that because there's less cells. So we don't want to get to apoptosis. And Vivix is shown to give 57% less telomere shortening. I mean, that's crazy alone. Just the DNA stuff should have you all convinced like it did me. But the other thing is we get a 100% increase in mitochondrial density. And so without going too much into this, basically, people who study longevity and aging well and health span, the first thing they look at is mitochondrial density. That tells them how prone the person is to getting age-related disease or to dying a premature death. And when they see a really strong density of mitochondria, they say, okay, this person is going to be very vital. They're going to have a great health span, and they're going to have a lot more resistance to age-related disease. Well, Vivix actually increases mitochondrial density by 100%. So that should be it. And the last study I want to talk about for you is this anti-inflammatory study. They had two groups. Both of them were measured blood. Of course, they had the same amount of inflammation as an average, right? The group on the placebo took sugar pills and then ate a high-fat fast food meal, and their inflammation went through the roof. The group that was on Vivix took their Vivix. They didn't know if it was sugar pill or Vivix. And then they also ate the same meal. And not only did their baseline blood stay the same, so they had zero anti-inflammation from the meal. No, their inflammation went down at the same rate that the other group was going up. So drastically and exponentially reducing inflammation and fully blunting any inflammatory response at all, which is how you're going to see in my photo. So this is my before and after, and you can see the reduction of inflammation. I was absolutely floored by this. I didn't do anything else. I didn't lose weight. I was taking collagen before and after. All I did was introduce Vivix, taking 2 of the gel caps every single day. And 4 months later, this was me. So if that's what it's looking like on the outside, you better believe that's also happening inside for my organs and all of my other cells, my blood cells, my immune cells, and everything. So thank you for letting me nerd out with you a little bit today. And Nancy, I believe it's on to you now.
Hi there, my name is Nancy Wild, and I am here today to talk to you about our liquid biocell and why I am so passionate about it. I have always been very active. I was a college athlete, avid runner. I still run to this day, just very active. And probably a few years ago, I well, actually, let me backtrack a bit. I started having the normal aches and pains that we get as we get older. And I just thought that was part of life and I'm just going to have to live with it. But what happened when I was 53, my story changed in a bigger way. I was diagnosed with Crohn's and put on medication for that, which actually ended up giving me rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. And when I went to a specialist, I was actually told that my running days would be behind me. And that did not sit well with me at all. So I started looking into things. I had tried collagens, all these collagens in the past, nothing worked. And somebody introduced me to the BioCell. I was a little skeptical, but I thought, what the heck? And gave it a try very faithfully. 2 weeks into taking it, my joint pain was gone. And I was so skeptical that I thought, well, it couldn't be this. So a week later, joint pain still gone. This was the answer. This is what happened. So the reason this works so well is it's a matrix of collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate. So I want you to think about bricks and mortar. One doesn't work without the other. So the hyaluronic acid cushions everything, helps all the ligaments, the joints to function younger. We have collagen naturally occurring and it starts to deplete as we get older. So this is something that works for all ages. From younger people, it just protects you. It keeps you protected. Take care of those joints, people. And then midlife with premenopause, postmenopause, all that, when your ligaments start getting loose. And the number of times you hear people say, man, my hips really hurt. This is the answer. And then, of course, as we age, it is never too late to start this. The other added bonus, which I did not expect at all, was what it did for my hair, skin, and nails. That hyaluronic acid is clinically proven to increase your hydration in your skin by 6,000% in 28 days. I mean, that alone was incredible. So it's funny, I saved my joints, back to running pain-free. My husband was very excited as an athlete. He wanted to know what my secret was, and he started taking it, much to my disappointment because I was running out of it much quicker. But it just, I was getting compliments on my skin, my hair, my nails, and this is why I'm so excited about it. And I am so honored to share it with you.
Hello, everyone. I am excited to be here with you to share why I am loving the youth skincare collection. My name is Cheryl Semenuk, and I owned and operated a spa for 20 years. And during those 2 decades, I worked with professional grade skincare and some luxury brands. I've recently retired from the spa world, and I can honestly say I am more excited about skincare now than I have been in years. I've been a huge advocate of clean products, but did you know that the average person puts on over 160 chemicals on their skin every day without questioning exactly what they are and how they can affect you? So what first caught my attention about these products was 2 things. First, with the standards. These products are EWG certified, which means that they meet strict science-based health and safety standards. And that just means that these products are clean and made without any of the 2,500 known chemicals that are still out there in our beauty industry today. And the second thing, I think this is the best part, is they are affordable. You know, in the spa industry, clean and effective usually meant expensive. And with the youth collection, you're getting critical strength product that is affordable for everyone and will give you spa results. I have used these products both day and night for the past 9 months, and it has taken my skin to the next level. And I thought I had good skin, but once I started using the Youth Collection, I started noticing my skin changing. I have seen a significant improvement in the tone and texture of my skin. My skin is smoother, it's more even, it's more hydrated. And honestly, I think my skin looks better now and healthier than it has for a long time. And you know what? People are noticing. And as for the products themselves, they're formulated to help with the effects of aging, and they're jam-packed with vitamins, nutrients, and hydration that your skin needs to stay young, looking younger longer. We have our cleansers that are all oil-based, and they will never leave your skin feeling tight after washing it. We have toners that exfoliate and hydrate. Serums, these are my favorite. They give you 212% more hydration and have 10 times the normal concentration of hyaluronic acid, which holds moisture in your skin. So your skin will look supple and hydrated for up to 12 hours. So your skin is going to look amazing all day long. Moisturizers, we have night creams, we have day creams, we have moisturizers with SPF, and they're rich, they have a rich or light formulation. They're very creamy and they're very mildly scented. And of course, they're going to leave your skin incredibly smooth and hydrated. And in the clinical studies that they did with the Youth Collection, 100% of the women had younger looking skin in 7 days, but 2/3 of those women shifted their skin age down to a younger decade, which means they looked 10 years younger. Like that is incredible. I love everything about this Youth Collection. You know, they're clinically proven products. They give you clinical results. And, you know, using them consistently, you will get the results that you're looking for. You know, at this stage of life, I'm turning 69 in a few months, and I'm not chasing perfection. I'm just focusing on skin that looks vibrant and is well cared for. And that's exactly what I'm getting with all of these products. And I'm so excited to partner with a company that stands behind clean science. It's affordable, and you know what? They have a 100% empty bottle money back guaranteed. So I am confident in saying to someone that these products are clean, they're affordable, they deliver results to help you look younger longer and turn back the clock 10 years. Thanks, everyone. I am going to pass it over to my friend Jocelyn, who's going to talk about the amazing peptides.
Hi, my name's Jocelyn. I'm from Whitby, Ontario, and I'm super excited to share with you one of my favorite skincare finds ever, especially since I just turned 50 in January. And that is these little peptide ones. So last year, I started to kind of feel a little bit self-conscious and notice the lines in the chest, the lines in my neck. In fact, I became distinctly aware, especially in photos, that my face looked a different age as my neck. Anybody else notice that ever? Anyways, I was kind of on the hunt of, well, what can I do to fix that? What can I do to make my neck match my face? And I came across these ones. I had a bunch of friends using them. I saw their results. I was super intrigued and I thought, I got to try them. One of the things that really grabbed my attention was the fact that they promised instant results. And that was really appealing. So there's two. I'm going to show you how I use them. There's one for your face and neck, which is the one I started with because, like I said, that was my initial problem point. But I also always struggle with under my eyes. And so when I found they had an eye one, I thought, interesting. So all you do is you depress the button at the end and the serum will come out here and you just rub it on all your little fine lines and wrinkles. So this is the area that I tend to focus on, right across here, and then all up the jaw, all along the neck, all down, usually on my chest. And then of course, the 11 and the forehead lines. I usually use it after cleansing and if you're a toner, after my toner. And then I go to town with my little eye one, hitting up all this skin right here, around the hoods, if that's your issue. For me, it's under the eye. Love it. They actually feel amazing too. They're so fun to use. Um, True to their promise, I took before and afters, and instantly, yes, I noticed a difference, more firm, more tone, more smooth skin. But the best part was I tracked my progress over the course of a number of weeks, and my before and afters were pretty profound. Super excited. So, for those of you who are sciencey people, let me share with you some of the science stuff. I got this written down because I am not a science person. I just need to see results and I'm hooked. I'm in, right? One of the other kind of fun things we call these is the breaking up with Botox. So, they do that. Look younger, longer. All right, here's some of the science stuff. 8 peptides power this super serum to lift, firm, and smooth, doing all the things in seconds. Has ingredients that keep working to rebuild the collagen. Hello, all about the collagen. Boost elasticity and soften the fine lines. Elasticity is what I want more of down here. So think super serum in a wand. Clinically tested results 41% smoother in 15 minutes. I told you guys I was hooked on the instant results. 69% improved in 7 days and 91% firmer in 28 days. So you guys, super excited to share these. I do hope you give them a try. I think everybody over the age of 40 needs these. Actually, maybe 30. Because prevention is the best strategy, right? So super, super excited to share these. I'm going to pass it back to my friend Jen now.
Thanks, Jocelyn. Oh my gosh, you guys, was that not amazing? Before we wrap up, I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank you all for being here, for giving yourself this time, for supporting our speakers, and for really leaning into the idea that self-care isn't something that you earn or that just happens, but you really have to choose it. And what I hope you're walking away with tonight is, a simple but maybe a powerful perspective shift. Great skin is not about choosing the next trend. It's not about, the next thing that you see on Instagram from your favorite influencer. It's about support, it's about consistency, and it's about taking care of your body and your skin from the inside out. So tonight, I introduced you to that new concept of inflammaging, right? And you learned how really supporting your cellular health really helps. Inflammation does matter, and it really shows itself not only in all areas of your life, but on your skin. So I'm really excited because you guys, it is the month of February. It is the month of love and self-love. And so, of course, we have a great offer for you here tonight. So you're going to want to make sure that you connect with whoever shared this with you, but we have an offer in North America. So when you spend 175 US, 225 Canadian, you get one of the most 4 products that we talked about tonight. So you're going to be able to either grab, and these are like use daily. I love them. So we have our viral face and neck wand. We have the eye wand. We have the little cartridge refill that actually, if you are already using the viral face and neck wand, that goes in there. And then we have our youth serum, you guys. This serum is divine. I use it day and night. And you're able to get those with that purchase for 72% off, up to like 80 on the serum. So in the US, they cost you $20. You can pick one of those for $20. Canada, it's 28. So again, spend 175 in the US, add one of those for 20, spend 225 in Canada, add one of those for 28. So you want to get back with who invited you here tonight to make sure you scoop up that deal, give yourself a little self-love, right? Some self-care. And I'm just so excited that you were here joining us tonight. Again, Jennifer Piper, I am closing off, and we are just so excited that you were here and part of our community tonight. Good night.